everyone this Saturday afternoon. Hope everyone's doing well. Before I get started though, I want to start off with something that's kind of dear to my heart, and that's the family of Kenny Mose. And growing up in a law enforcement household, I understand what it is every day and what the job entails, and everyone that's out there protecting our communities. And that's something that's very, very close to me, and it's hit home. And I want them to know that they're in my personal thoughts and prayers for them. Also noted that we're excited about wearing a commemorative sticker on the back of our helmet to honor the late Pat Summitt. We all know everything that she stands for, and I think it's very fitting that Tennessee football and Team 120 recognize her and everything that she means to the University of Tennessee and the great state of Tennessee, and for sports in general. Also excited, Chad Clifton will be our legend of the game. As we all know, Chad was just recently inducted into the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, and really had an opportunity to spend some quality time with him this summer. And you look at his accomplishments, also from Martin, Tennessee, and it's another illustration of a great player staying at home, representing his home state, his in-state institution, and he's a ball for life, and very, very excited to see him again. Also, one more final note is at 6:30 on Wednesday night, we're excited that we will have a pep rally outside gate 21A. One of our traditions here is we always bring our football team into historic Neyland Stadium to kind of set the temperament before we head over to the hotel. And so our student bodies requested a pep rally, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone out there at this time. Now getting into game week. Last week we spoke about being game ready. We continue to be work in progress that way. I'm very, very anxious to see how our football team responds with a couple days off, see how far they've come with their legs and recovery. So today is a big day. It's a Monday in football terms, but for us it's a great work week. Start to the work week, we have to make sure we're ready to go. So I'm kind of anxious to see our approach today, see our leadership, and see the excitement. I know there's an excitement in the air right now, and college football got off to a start last night, and everyone's excited, everyone's optimistic, and for the first time Thursday night we'll put our initial football identity on video, and we're responsible for what we create, so we're looking forward to that. Playing a great quality opponent in App State, 11-2 last year, have won 17 out of their last 19 contests. Their players know what it takes to win. Coach Satterfield has done a tremendous job. We have a lot of similarities in terms of effort. They're a high effort football team. They play with great effort. They're very, very disruptive. #1 red zone defense in the country last year. They like to run the football, 4,000-yard rusher. They have both preseason conference players of the year on offense and defense, so it's going to be a great challenge for us. And as we all know, first games are the game of the unknowns, from tendencies to new players, and you have to have the ability to adapt and adjust throughout the course of a game. There may be new schemes that you haven't seen or prepared for, so you have to rely on your training, and you have to rely on communication. So it's going to be a good test for our football team. I know we're excited to play, but before you can play, you have to make sure you're game ready, and you go through this phase right now of investing in victory each and every week. So I'll answer any questions you might have.
From last season to coming into the first game this season, what has improved, please?
Well, I'm anxious to see that. We've worked exceptionally hard on our downfield passing game, on the accuracy, and the just being more efficient with the throw game. And a lot of that stems from the perimeter, stems from the tight ends, it extends from involving the running backs. I'm very anxious to see how we tackle, how we play in space. When you look at all the games, and you'll see a lot of the first games, tackling obviously will be at a premium. And we have to do a great job of working to take the ball away, all the things that we've stressed throughout the season. And it'll be a process. You continually get better week in and week out, but I want to see our tackling, our aggressiveness on defense, our overall communication, continue to improve our special teams, big plays across the board. That's something that we stress all year, but just being a fundamentally sound, detailed football team. And again, we're really starting our personality of this team, so I'll know a little bit more where we're at with all those improvements we set forth Thursday evening.
Go Steve and then Mike.
Just wondering what you think is the biggest way you've changed, adjusted, or adapted as a coach since taking over this program, and if having a bit more of a veteran team this year, if that's played into that at all.
I've never really thought about that question before. I think you're always constantly adapting, adjusting, always improving. You know, that's something that we talk about in our football program, is constant, never-ending improvement. I think, like I spoke earlier, each team is different. Each team has a different personality. Each team has different leadership characteristics. So I think what's helped is, I think our coaches and myself, we know our football team a little bit more. You know, growing up as a son of a chief of police, I've been interested in studying human behavior all my life. So I love to get in their mindsets. I love to see what this football team needs, and I take great pride in that. But I think you're constantly evolving. If you don't, that's when you stop growing, and you have to constantly evolve each and every day. It's just like, how are you different as a reporter from today to yesterday? You know, are you asking the same questions, or you have different questions? You know, it's all those things that go into play with it, of constant, never-ending improvement. And you have to hold yourself accountable before you can hold anyone else accountable. And I was just joking. I just wanted to see you smile a little bit.
Mike Strange and then Rob and Wes.
Butch, we were talking to Coach Satterfield this morning, and inevitably the 2007, I think it was, Michigan game came up. He said that kind of hurts them over the years, because every coach, every time they play a team like Tennessee, and he said he's sure that you brought that up to get your team's attention, nobody's ever going to overlook them again. I wanted your thoughts on that. And part two, I'm sure that game sent a ripple through the coaching fraternity. I'm not sure where you were in 2007, but do you remember that?
You're 10 years behind the time. That was 1997, correct?
2007.
Yeah.
2007. I'm 10 years behind the time. It's hard to. I was first year head coach at Central Michigan, and that's exactly right. And I remember that very, very vividly, very vividly. And I think the other thing that I could relate to Coach Satterfield, because it makes you appreciate that more, because I've been on that other side. You know, I've been at Central Michigan. I understand what it was like to prepare your team. And you know, we had the mindset that we were going in to win the game just like they are. And they're a fine, fine football team, a very good football team. All you have to do is watch them on video. And they have the respect of our players and our coaching staff. And again, they're very, very talented across the board, and they expect to win, and they're coming in here with the mentality of winning the football game. But I think it helps when you've coached at a Central Michigan. You understand what it is to go on the road and do those types of things. But again, all you have to do is put the video on, and they garner your attention immediately.
Rob?
Coach, you guys have done a lot of cross-training on the offensive line in camp. How have you always done that, and what's the impact of your depth, or has it been kind of influenced by just having so many veterans that you feel comfortable flipping around?
We've always done that. That's kind of been a philosophy, just because it's a long football season and injuries are going to occur, and you know, the nature and the makeup of that position group is very, very important. So as many individuals, first and foremost, as you can have snap the ball at the center position is very, very important. Obviously tackles, but just being able to get your best five on the football field all the time through injuries or what have you really lends itself to having that versatility to be able to do that. And to all of our players' credit, they embrace that. They've done a great job with that.
You have Wes and then Grant and then Mike Griffith.
Which I know that obviously this is a game of an unknown. You have a new coordinator. There's some freshmen out there, but is there still a little bit of less of an unknown with this team this year, just because of, at least from a competition or competitive spirit standpoint, with I guess 18 or 22 starters or whatever it is returning?
I don't think so. And, you know, we have some individuals that have proven themselves over time, but you never take any of those things for granted with your style of play, with the mentality, how you prepare, how you invest in victory, how you take care of your body. All those things, you get the required amount of sleep. Again, you sacrifice throughout the course of a long season. What are you willing to give up? All those things. So I don't think you take anything for granted. So we always start from ground zero with that approach and that mentality. But it is nice to have individuals that have proven themselves over time to be able to prepare themselves to play winning football. But, you know, again, we're going to play a lot of true freshmen, and you can never take anything for granted. And it gets back to this being the greatest team sport there is. And 1 out of 11, you can have 10 individuals do the right thing, and the 11th individual have a missed assignment or a mental bust, and all of a sudden it exposes you for a big football play. And those are the things that can cost you football games. So again, even though we have individuals that have that experience, we're also going to have individuals on the field at the same time that don't have that valuable experience. So you can never take those things for granted.
Which Scott Satterfield said this morning on the teleconference that you guys are